Hello, I'm Steve Weber, the host of Beatles Rewind. As always, I'm joined by my co-host and fellow Beatlemaniac, my confidante Cassandra. Good morning, Cass. So let's get into it. I Want to Be Your Man.
You want to be my man. Steve, do you think that's appropriate? I mean, we work together, plus I already have a boyfriend.
No, Cass, I'm talking about Ringo's song, I Want to Be Your Man. You ready to talk about it?
Oh, sure, you start. Okay, I want to be your man.
It's funny, isn't it? Such a seemingly simple song, but wow, the history behind it.
Exactly. It sits right at this weird crossroads of rock history. Connects the Beatles and the Rolling Stones in a really direct way.
And it's crucial for Ringo's place in the band, too. But the central irony, the thing that always gets me, is that Lennon and McCartney apparently thought it was just nothing.
A throwaway, yeah. Lennon's famous quote. Yet, here we are talking about its huge significance. It even has this kind of double life, right? A hit for someone else entirely.
It really does. So let's unpack that. Where does this whole story begin? It's pure rock and roll legend, the creation itself, right? The chance meeting. You picture London, late 63, somewhere near Charing Crossroad, maybe. And John and Paul bump into Andrew Loog Oldham.
Or maybe some of the Stones themselves, the accounts vary a bit, don't they?
They do. But the key thing is, the Stones needed a song. Like, really needed a single. They were still kind of finding their feet, weren't they?
Totally. They'd done a Chuck Berry cover, but they hadn't broken through properly. They saw the Beatles as, the hit factory.
So they ask,
Yeah.
and Lennon and McCartney, being, well, Lennon and McCartney, they just agree on the spot.
And this is the killer part of the story. They didn't just say, sure, we'll write you one. They apparently finished it right there.
Yeah. Whether it was in a corner of a club, or Oldham's office, or even a taxi, depends who you ask. But they basically performed this feat of songwriting genius while the Stones watched.
Can you imagine Mick and Keith, future songwriting giants, just standing there and watching them knock out a usable song in, minutes?
They had the basic structure already, apparently. Something they had earmarked for Ringo, maybe.
Yeah.
They fleshed it out, wrote the middle bit right in front of their main rivals.
It's just such a power move, isn't it? And Lennon, with his typical groove bluntness.
Yeah. He apparently said something like, we weren't going to give him anything great, just a throwaway.
But here's the twist. That throwaway, that act of showing off how easily they could do it, Keith Richards points to that exact moment.
As the spark.
The spark.
Yeah.
He says seeing that made him and Mick realize they had to start writing their own stuff. If those guys could do it that easily, they needed to step up.
Wow. So a song dismissed by its writers actually kickstarts the biggest songwriting rivalry in rock history. That's quite something for a throwaway.
It really elevates it, doesn't it? Beyond just a catchy tune. Okay, so that's the creation myth. But what about the song itself? The Stones version came out first.
November 63. Their second single in the UK. And they absolutely made it their own. Took that simple structure.
Yeah, repetitive lyrics, bluesy feel.
And injected it with this raw, gritty energy. It wasn't Beatles pop at all. It was early British R&B, rough around the edges.
And the defining sound of their version, you'd have to say, is Brian Jones's slide guitar.
Oh, absolutely. It's aggressive, it's prominent, it just screams early Stones. That solo is iconic.
It really set their tone, didn't it? Marked them out as the tougher, bluesier alternative to the Beatles.
And it worked. The public loved it. Yeah. It shot up the charts number 12 in the UK. That was their first proper taste of success.
A major hit for them at the time, and that success was absolutely critical.
How so? Beyond just the chart position.
Well, think about it. It gave them validation, sure, but it also gave them breathing room. Money to tour, money to keep going.
Okay. It bought them time.
Exactly. Time for Jagger and Richards to actually develop as songwriters, to find their own voice without the immediate pressure of needing another cover. I Want to Be Your Man kept them in the game long enough for that to happen. It was their launch pad, no question.
Okay, so it launches the Stones. But then, just a few weeks later, the Beatles put out their own version
with the Beatles album, and the context is totally different for them. It wasn't a single. It wasn't about chart competition.
No, Paul McCartney said it was specifically for Ringo, right? To give him a vocal spot on the album.
Yeah, like they did with Boys on the first album. They needed something simple, up-tempo, something Ringo could belt out from behind the kit.
And his vocal is different. It's not polished like John or Paul's harmonies. It's raw. Kind of shouted.
It has that frantic energy, doesn't it? You can almost hear the Hamburg clubs in there. That raw driving sound they had live.
Definitely. It's much more frantic than the Stones version. There's this bluesy, maybe a bit cooler. The Beatles one feels like it's about to fly off the rails, in a good way.
It's got this almost punk energy looking back, and the production adds to that, too. George Martin's contribution is key here.
The Hammond organ. Yeah, that's a really distinct feature. You wouldn't necessarily expect it.
Right. He overdubs this driving organ part, and it sits right on top of George Harrison's guitar line, which is great, too. Very Chuck Berry.
That organ gives it this unique, almost garage rock feel. It creates this wall of sound.
It totally transforms it. Make sure Ringo's track has its own sonic identity on the album. It really cemented his role, you know, the reliable third voice for those high energy numbers.
So same song, two very different bands to very different purposes. But the story doesn't quite end there, does it? There's another layer to its chart history.
Yes. The Del Shannon connection. This is a great bit of trivia.
It is, because Del Shannon actually recorded it before either the Beatles or the Stones released their versions, like way back in June '63.
Which just shows how quickly Lennon-McCartney songs were getting noticed and picked up by publishers, even that early on. They were already a hot commodity.
His version wasn't a huge smash in the US, only got to number 77, I think. But it's technically the first Lennon-McCartney song to ever chart in America.
Isn't that something? Before the invasion even started properly, shows their reach was already global, even if people didn't know the names yet.
And the song itself, just the basic structure, it's proven surprisingly durable over the years.
Oh yeah, that simple driving beat, it's kind of timeless rock and roll. Lots of artists have covered it.
You get punk bands like the Rizzillos doing it in the 70s, leaning into that frantic energy.
And then you've got Ringo himself. He still plays it, doesn't he? With his all-star band tours.
Yeah, it's like a reliable old friend for his set list. A proper banger, as they say. He clearly still has affection for the track that helped define his spot.
So when you pull all these threads together, it's kind of amazing. A song written off as a quick favor, a throwaway,
Becomes this pivotal piece of history. It gives the Stones their first big break and directly inspires their legendary songwriting team.
and at the same time, it carves out Ringo's essential role in the Beatles, giving him that signature sound on their early albums.
It really is a perfect little snapshot of that moment, isn't it? The mix of collaboration and competition, the sheer confidence of Lennon and McCartney.
Handing a hit to your biggest rivals, just because you know you've got plenty more where that came from. That gesture, intentional or not, really did shape what came next.
It's incredible. A masterpiece of utility, as you put it earlier. The impact massively outweighs the initial intent.
Makes you think, doesn't it? What if they hadn't given them that song? Would the Stones have found their footing as quickly?
Good question. Maybe the whole timeline of the British invasion would look slightly different. It's fascinating to consider those what-ifs.
Hopefully exploring I Want to Be Your Man like this gives you a new appreciation for just how much history can be packed into 2 minutes of rock and roll.
Well, thanks for joining us today. Whenever you feel like knowing more about the Beatles, visit us at BeatlesRewind.com. Every day, we do something new there. Book reviews, song reviews, trivia, all things Beatles. You can find us on the website, BeatlesRewind.com. You can subscribe on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, practically anywhere. The Beatles, all day, every day. We'll do it again tomorrow.
Absolutely. Farewell for now, everyone.
Until next time.
When you listen.
Your mind conducts its own symphony.